Sherryland ISD. Excellence is our tradition.
Hi, we're Mackay Bulldogs. Thanks for watching Real Sports Live.
A Piece of Cake by Ibadas in Harlingen is a sweet stop for cakes, cookies, and pastries.
We are back here at the realignment, and we have the audio issue up and running. Kevin, that was a practice run for you to talk about everything that's happening here. We are in Harlingen. We're at the Aquatic Center, and thanks again for joining us. Rudy Zamaripa Jr. on the camera, and all eyes on the box as they are getting set in about 3 minutes to open that box up, Kevin. And that table, which is right now relatively empty, will be flocked with coaches, athletic directors, all eager to see the realignment 2020 for UIL, and who's going where, who has to schedule who, and who has some luxury of some non-district play, and who has perhaps no non-district play when it comes to football.
Yeah, it can get really chaotic here. We're going to have this video board up here on the projector. The teams will then, once they see what districts they're in, and then they will decide and say, okay, we're going to need 3 non-district games. We're going to need 2 games. And it'll say Westlake East needs a week 2 game. San Benito needs a week 4 game. And then it becomes kind of like a bidding war with all these coaches. And then they say, I need a game. And then they'll start mapping that out. So we are 2 minutes away officially from that box being broken open. And Joe's right. It's going to be a bit of a madhouse just for a little bit for everyone rushing to that box there, and Coach Solodio and Coach Davies hosting this year. A little bit of a change-up, too. There's no school in Edinburgh today, and there's also a lot of construction going on at Region 1. I did a little bit of recon, and I figured, okay, well, the next place would be Harlingen. So.
And it's the day after the Super Bowl,
right?
Which is a challenge to try to get some of these guys here as well.
Yeah, the day after the Super Bowl with a room full of football coaches, so.
Yeah, well, the exciting part is once this box is opened up, those packets will be handed out. All the coaches will race back to these tables, which it's a bigger facility here for them to host this. And here's the unveiling of the box. And like I said, it's going to immediately get to where there's no chance in the world that you'll be able to actually see the packets handed out, but you'll see them packets start flying out of there. And as coaches move away, we will find out, indeed, who is where on the realignment. First thing the coaches will do is they will get their, they'll take a look at their obvious assignment lanes, if you will, Kevin, and then they'll start to take a look at. I know there's been some talk of hey, if we're here, let's go ahead and play this game. There's some normal games that are scheduled on a regular basis. And as they
guys are bringing us the almighty.
Now we have the almighty packet. Here it is. Kevin, hold that up.
All right, here we go.
Well, there it is. There's what everyone's been looking for. Is this packet right here?
The highly anticipated. So let's jump right over to Region 4. It's a volleyball district there.
We'll take a look at this packet. We'll be right back, and we'll start to break this down. The realignment 2020 is no mystery anymore. They know where they're going. We'll tell you a little bit about that after this.
Cakes made to order, sweetbread, cookies, pies, or how about cupcakes? At A Piece of Cake by Ibadas, try a Texas Sky cinnamon roll, or how about some tamales? Wedding cakes, graduations, you dream it and they can make it. The best in town is A Piece of Cake by Ibadas in Harlingen.
The D-Tronics Inventory Blowout Sale going on now. Get a pair of 300-watt tweeters for just $1, speakers for $12, subs $25, radios with Bluetooth $29. Go to dtronics.com for more info. D-Tronics, fire-breathing sound.
We are back here at the realignment as Rudy Zamaripa Jr. is getting that camera together. Kevin Naro and I are here. We do have a guest chair there with a headset. We'll be interviewing some coaches. We've already started the preliminary work on that as far as having coaches joining us. But Kevin, let's take a look. You're already spotting some changes, and let's see if we can start breaking this thing down right here, right now.
All right. So Region 4, District 16, 5A 16. Division 2, Edcal, Chelsea, Mercedes, Mission Sherryland, Mission Vets, Far Valley View, PSJ Memorial, PSJ Southwest, Roma, Pioneer. So the change there, you're adding PSJ Memorial and PSJ Southwest. Those two were in the Division I 5A with Porter, Pace, and Brownsville Veterans. So there's a little bit of a change there. And that was the expectation there, to keep Mission Veterans Memorial, Sherryland, Pioneer, Roma all together. The expectation was to add both PSJ Memorial and PSJ Southwest. So really they dropped a division because they were in 16-5A Division 1. So not too much of a drastic change there.
Still 9 teams in the district.
Right. Still 9
which means you have 2 non-district games if you're a Mission Veterans,
right.
which you have not had before. You've
right.
had 1.
Right. They've had 1, and that was the Battle of Conway. So now they can. Coach Gilpin will be pleased to see he'll be able to add a non-district opponent. Let's jump over to 5A Division 1. So here's the bit of a change here. Now this is going to be great. Look at this. We're talking Brownsville Pace, Brownsville Lopez, Brownsville Porter, Brownsville Veterans, Donna, La Jolla Palmview, Mac High, McAllen Memorial, McAllen Rowe, Westlaco East.
How many teams is in that district,
That
Kevin?
is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That's the 10-team district.
Okay.
Okay, so but that's great, because the question was, where is Westlaco East going to go? Where are they going to keep the McAllens together? The McAllens do stay together, so that question has been answered. The Brownsvilles all stay together. I like this idea because you would see teams, separated in the valley, one from the upper valley and the lower valley. But now, we're going to keep the Brownsvilles together.
Let's run that down again. This is District
This is
16.
16-5A D1, Brownsville Lopez, Brownsville Pace, Brownsville Porter, Brownsville Veterans, Donna High, La Jolla Palmview, McAllen High, McAllen Memorial, McAllen Rowe, and Westlaco East. So, of course, the big change there is both PSJ Southwest and PSJ Memorial leaving, dropping down to Division 2. 36A blended in with 16-5A D1. That's basically what it is, because you're adding the McAllens and you're adding La Jolla, or you're keeping La Jolla Palmview, you're adding the McAllens, and then you're adding Westlaco East. So that's extremely interesting right there.
We see coaches moving around now. Again, what happens is they first get this packet in their hands, they look at their district assignment, and then they count up the number of non-district games they're playing. And that's what they go to. And then you'll see the districts actually congregate together. But Kevin, that generally is easy compared to what the non-district scheduling of these for these football coaches is, as we see them start to make their moves.
Right. So then we will. So again, for me, what sticks out is the 3 McAllen Memorials and Westlaco East.
See if we can pick up the PA announcer. Really, all the PA announcer is going to be doing is just announcing that, hey, such and such needs a game. This team needs a game. And we're not even going to begin to try to get coaches to come over here and join us because, Kevin, they are right now working.
Yes.
The day started for many of them at 7:30 this morning,
Right.
but they are truly working right now.
Right, and what you're seeing all these coaches doing, they're texting, they're calling coaches from around the state, around the region, around the area. Hey, I know Manny Gomez just walked by, so you can bet he's Converse Judson. Laredo United for San Benito. They're calling. They're getting text messages and phone calls saying like, hey, do you need a week 2 game? Do you need a week 3 game? That's what all these coaches are doing right now. And then some of these coaches, they like to have it mapped out to where I know Coach Ritchie. I spoke with him in the off season. They have say a pre non-district schedule saying I would like to face him. I would like to face this guy. And the one thing that we can mention is Los Fresnos went to a slot T offense this past season, right? No one in District 32 runs that offense. So of the teams on that list would be PSJ Southwest, Westlaco East, Hidalgo East. I know there were 4A, but the point being that they'll start to say, I would like to play you because you run this type of offense. When they come to realignment, they can talk to these guys and say, hey, could we play you this week because of the specific style of offense you like to run? So the coaches do their homework for sure. And speaking of 6A, 32-6A, of course, there it is. Now we got our wish. The coaches got their wish, and that's 2, 4, 6, 8. It's an 8-team district in 32-6A. Hallelujah. And
Yeah.
no more 6-8, no more 6-team district. I'm sure the coaches are happy to see that.
Running that down is Brownsville Hanna, Brownsville Rivera. That was expected. Donna North, Harlingen South, Los Fresnos, San Benito, Westlaco. So add to the mix Westlaco, add to the mix Donna North to what was the existing 32-6A. And again, Kevin, the biggest factor there is that they do not have to schedule games in Odessa and Midland. just to make sure they get games played during the regular season.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. And that's that's exactly what these coaches wanted to see. It was frustrating and taxing being only in a 6-team district, especially when you look at, and again, this isn't just for football. It's also for basketball. And when you see teams having to play 5 district games, you have a 20-odd non-district schedule, and then you have such a small district where you have teams trying to fish for games, and then they go on a week and a half without playing games. That's what's happened here in basketball in the District 32 6A. But the big thing here is they're adding Donna North, they're adding Weslaco. See, there's the twist. My expectation was to add either Donna North or Weslaco. One would stay in 31 6A, one would come to 32 6A. But now in 31 6A, that's the curveball thrown at us because we knew we'd keep the Edinburghs together. They'd keep PSJ and PSJ North in there as well. But now you add Mission, Juarez, Lincoln, and La Jolla. So the question was, what would happen to the La Joyas out of 36A? Basically, there is no more 36A when it comes to the Valley.
So that becomes an 8-team district as
Right.
well, which means
Right.
they have a limited 3 non-district games before you get in the mix.
Right.
But let's go back to 32 6A real quick because last year it was a 4-horse race to determine where the placing was with Hannah having one of their off seasons. But now you're adding a Weslaco team, a seasoned team that's a playoff team from last year, into the mix. And, Kevin, it ramps up the competition level in this district for playoff spots when you're talking about returning teams from last year.
It really does. And, I think District 31 6A just got a whole lot tougher when you add a PSJ North, a PSJ High, a Mission with what they do and what La Jolla does. And, of course, Edinburgh, Vela. So you're talking Vela, Mission, Vela, PSJ North. Those are some big-time football games. And then you take a step further and look at it for a potential playoff matchup when you look at 31 and 32 6A. I mean, you're looking at a potential Harlingen Mission, San Benito Mission, San Benito Edinburgh, Weslaco Mission. It's going to be different. And again, I think when you look at the 6As, the exclamation point here would be there is no more 36A when it comes to Valley teams participating in 36A because now you're looking at, you move up the region just a little bit, 36A.
Which is Freddie Heredia over there in Eagle Pass.
So now Freddie can stake the claim he is a District 36A man in the Laredo area because now you're looking at Laredo United South, Laredo United, Laredo Nixon, Laredo Johnson, Laredo Alexander, Eagle Pass, and Del Rio all in 36A. And then the old Laredo district was 29 6A.
That's changed completely.
That's changed completely, so enjoy that, San Antonio.
Yeah, Northside Brennan, Harlan, Holmes, Northside Jay, Northside Marshall, Northside O'Connor, Northside Stevens, Taft, and Warren, all in the same district, in District 29. But again, in our 6A level of our primary coverage, we're looking here. Let's see if we can find the Corpus area, Kevin, and what's going on there as we are already expanding into the Corpus Christi area. And I'm not seeing that anywhere on the 6A level.
Right, because that was an early rumor. Corpus Christi Veterans Memorial potentially joining District 32 6A, but I'm excited to see this 32 6A shakeup along with District 31 6A. I mean, every year there's a curveball, and we just had a couple thrown.
So again, they're continuing to walk around the room and get some schedule set up. We'll take a real quick break. We'll come back and we'll continue to break this down. We have the listings. We'll run them down district by district and class by class. Kevin Naro, I'm Joe Bowling. We'll have coaches joining us. Mark Molina will join us as well. The Realignment 2020 continues from Harlingen's Aquatic Center in Harlingen, Texas, the Monday after the Super Bowl. Back after this.
Payments, a friendly buying process, and customer service like no other. It's simply a different way. It's a car buying experience you'll enjoy. With a huge Ford selection like Ford F-150s, Mustangs, Explorers, Escapes, the Ford Raptor, and a whole bunch more, buying a new Ford should be fun, and that's why we do it. Come see the difference at Hacienda Ford.
Hacienda has it. Thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
Whether you're visiting or vacationing at South Padre Island, be sure to book your place to stay with Island Services. Locally owned for over 40 years. Trusted, reliable for condo and beach house rentals. Call and visit the website today. Island Services. We are back at the realignment. You see Coach David Gilpin walking around, Mission Veterans, and hey, at least he gets more than one district game or non-district game this year, as he is going to be talking things over with some coaches and looking for a couple of extra games. Kevin Narrow is trying to track down some coaches. Kevin, we were looking at the 6A level, and we were saying, hey, coach is coming over and saying, hey.
How's it going, Brownsville Rivera?
How you doing, sir?
Does the Juice or Beto Leal? Which one of you? Either or is cool.
We're gonna line up our first guest with us here on Rio Sports Live, and right now it's a coin toss to see who's gonna put the headset on and talk about this. As we'll join him in. I'm gonna let Kevin take the reins once we get a headset on a coach here to talk about this realignment. We were talking about the 6A when we took that break and asking about the Corpus schools, and they're not in 6A. That's why we don't have them. So they're a Class 5. And Kevin, you got a guest joining us here, our first guest of the morning. Roll with that.
It's the Juice. Coach Hugo Ramirez, the defensive coordinator from Brownsville Rivera, is a well-known coach here. Coach, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome, man. Thanks for having me, man.
How was the Super Bowl? What'd you do?
Oh, it was crazy, man. I'm glad the Chiefs finally won, man.
Yeah?
That was awesome, man.
Yeah, so Coach, you guys got a peek at this 31-6A district. And for me, as a member of the media, I was excited to see that there's no more 6-team district. You guys added Donna North and you added Weslaco. So what did you and Beto Leal talk about?
Oh, we had Plan B in case, something crazy came out. But we're ready to roll. We're excited, man. We welcome those 2 new teams to our district. And exciting, man. Can't wait.
With the expectation, of course, mine was you guys, District 32 6A, was either going to gain a Donna North or a Weslaco, and I'd figure one of the two would stay in 31 6A, the other would come into 32 6A. What were you guys maybe expecting?
From the get-go, that was the rumors going on. We were going to get those 2 teams, so we were pretty much set on that. But like I just said, we had a Plan B in case something crazy came up.
Talk about the Raiders and what they did this year. You guys got that signature win against Los Fresnos. You guys were in ball games. Coach Beto Leal brought some juice, some juice to the team. And we started seeing these kids play really well. And I know you guys get Ramiro Vega back, Chito Perez, a couple of guys like that. Just talk about the year that you guys had.
It was new for everybody, trying to learn the system. We got there a little bit late. But it's changing attitudes, man, mindsets, and getting to work, for 4 quarters, not have games and stuff. So that's what we're doing right now. We're having an awesome off season, so we'll be stronger this year and a lot better this year because we'll have an off season under our belt.
Last question, Coach. What was the biggest curveball thrown at you as far as the Valley goes or the region?
Well, in our district, it was pretty much said, like I said before, so no curveballs for us. The curveball that I saw was for another district, 5A. That one's loaded, man, with 10 teams.
The Weslaco East District in particular?
No.
Yeah, that one was tough. That one we saw. That one was a curveball at us with the McAllens staying all together.
Yeah.
And Weslaco East joining. When you say loaded, that's the district I thought of right off the bat. So, Coach, thanks for joining us. Hugo Ramirez,
welcome,
the Juice from Brownsville Rivera High School.
You guys take care, man.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Coach.
We'll continue with our realignment coverage from Harlingen, Texas, the Aquatic Center. This is the 2020 realignment. Talking a little football, basketball, and mainly talking schedules. We'll be back right after this.
Patrick
We're
Brown.
back here, and Kevin Naro at the Aquatic Center here in Harlingen, Texas. We talked about right before the break and right before our first guest that we were looking for the Corpus Christi schools and who stayed in 6A. Well, none did.
Right.
And so that opens up 5A. And let's start there in the Corpus area because there was a lot of interest as where are those Corpus schools going? We got a good view at the 5A level. Let's start there.
Right, Region 4, Class 5A, District 29, 5A, excuse me. Corpus Christi Carroll, Corpus Christi Flower Bluff, CC Veterans Memorial, Corpus Christi King, Corpus Christi Moody, Corpus Christi Ray, Gregory, Portland, Victoria East, Victoria West.
Now, when you're talking to a coach about a loaded district, there's some powerhouse football teams right there.
Football, basketball, baseball, you name it. That is probably arguably one of the tougher districts in the region when it comes down to the Class 5A.
Then you look below that District 35A, and that's where your La Jolla Palmview, and then a couple of Laredos, Laredo Figueroa, Martin, Mission Veterans, Rio Grande City, and Roma, all residing. And again, the big exhale there is I can schedule some non-district games if you're a Mission Veterans and some of those teams that were in that one non-district game, and that's it.
Right, yeah, and that's what these coaches are doing right now, especially now because you're in a smaller district. You have to now look for more non-district games. You probably have to add, off the top of my head, 2, maybe 3. So you see on our screen here to our right, your left, depending on how you're watching it, but Coach Ritchie, Coach Davies, and Coach Cortez are all talking about their non-district opponents. And I know Coach Ritchie, Andrew had mentioned to me that they were looking at maybe Sharyland Pioneer. We're going to have another guest join us here. That's Coach Johnny Cipriano of the Santa Rosa Warriors. There you go, my friend.
As he makes his way over here, he too, like we talked to you, we know there are football coaches here that are interested in about the football schedule portion of the realignment, but basketball teams are also heavily involved in this because they're affected, and especially the scheduling and how far am I going to have to schedule games. And Kevin, take this one away.
Yeah, Coach. So what did you guys? What stood out in y'all's district? Any changes? Or?
No, I know Coach De La Garza for Frontier and I had kind of discussed this on Friday before a game, and he kind of felt that it was going to turn out the way it did. I think the only surprising thing is that Progreso would be on our side here instead of Lyford.
So
but other than that, it was kind of expected.
So 32-3, it's going to be Brownsville Harmony, Brownsville Idea, Brownsville Riverview, Brownsville Jubilee, Progreso, and Santa Rosa. And Progreso is coming over from the 4A.
Yes.
So they moved down one. That was the expectation. Mm-hmm. So not too much of a shock there. But as far as a basketball district coach, what are you looking at for the next 2 years?
Well, I mean, I really haven't kept up with Progreso since they're not in our district, but. Looking at that district, it probably should be us and Jubilee, fighting it out.
And Lyford's now out of your district.
Yeah, Lyford's out of our district.
Lyford's out of your district, and a couple of the ideas. So, what we were telling the people that are listening is that when your district gets smaller, the challenge begins to where you have to add more non-district games, and it's particularly in football. How difficult is it, Coach, when you get a smaller district, you having to start to fish for more games?
Well, I mean, I used to have my regular opponents, and then this year we had so many district games that I was able to only have 3 non-district games. So it's going to change drastically now, and I'm going to have to work hard to try and find some competitive teams for our non-district schedule. So.
Right, because I remember when we were in San Antonio, you had mentioned that you guys had only played maybe against San Polito. That was your second game of the year, and then you guys were already preparing for district. Yeah. Real quick, Coach, let's talk about your team and where you guys are at right now, and how are the Warriors doing?
We're all right. We're a little bit beat up, but that's expected. I guess everyone at this point is a little bit beat up, so it'll be just up to me to manage, and taper off a little bit, as far as practice and Saturday practices and things like that to get us back to being healthy and hopefully, make a deep run if we can. It's
in a sense that you guys' season is just getting started because we're in February, and I know you guys like to play into March. How have the kids kind of taken that in, understanding that it's a long season and the expectation with you guys that you guys have? Well,
I know I spoke to them Friday after the game, and I told them just that that we have the potential. But that doesn't mean anything. We have to put in the work. We have to prepare. I think, we have all the right tools to make a deep run. But then again, it's playoff time and anything can happen. So.
There he is. Johnny Cipriano of Santa Rosa.
I'll be back with more as we continue with the realignment from Harlingen. 2020 realignment on Real Sports Live. Come see what the City of San Benito has to offer today. Business owners, visit the San Benito Chamber of Commerce and find out how they can help you be a part of the new and exciting growth the city is experiencing today. Supporting business, community, and the teams, San Benito Chamber of Commerce.
Our professional advisors at Employee Retirement Service have been providing financial and retirement planning for many years for employees of different employment.
If you've spent your career in education and are ready for the next chapter, let the professionals at Employment Retirement Services help. You've worked hard, and now it's time to relax and enjoy with peace of mind and security.
Help fulfill your retirement needs. Come experience the difference with us.
And let's plan your retirement together. Call us at 956-440-8774 to schedule your appointment today.
At HCISD, we move the needle forward every day.
We'll blaze a trail for future generations.
It's not just about equipping students with skills for the future. We awaken their potential and empower them to make good choices.
No matter where you're from or where you're headed, there's a place for you to flourish at HCISD.
We are back here at the realignment. Kevin Nardo joining me on my right-hand side. We'll have more coaches, but right now they are congregated in all kinds of meetings. And Kevin, we've already seen them moving tables around. That's expected too. They get into a district table, if you will,
right,
and negotiate there the home and aways and how they're going to play that out. Once they, it's a process. These coaches are all aware of what the process is.
It is, yeah. And again, now things have kind of simmered down to a sense where now the coaches break up into their district meetings, and then this is when you start talking schedules, and you say, okay, who's home, who's away, and a lot of the chinks in the armor kind of get sorted out here with these coaches, and it got real quiet here because these coaches beginning to meet.
Now it's all about meetings and the text messages and calls. We're going to be talking Class 4A, Rio Hondo, and Coach James putting the headset on. Coach, thanks for joining us over here. And early morning, day after Super Bowl, and I appreciate you joining us here on the air.
Yes, sir. Happy to be here.
Talk about the new district, Coach. The rumors no longer. Now it's fact. Where you're at and who's in it.
And I didn't even realize we were going to get all these teams. I thought they'd give us one or two. I thought we were going to get West Oso and Robstown, and all of a sudden we have we got the West Oso that we thought, but we ended up with Ingleside, also Rockport, Fulton, Sinton. Those were some that we were not counting on ending up in our district. But it'll be exciting. It's going to be a tough district. I feel this last year was just I hated only having 4 teams, so getting 8 teams is really exciting.
The first thing I look at is you're looking at a lot of teams that you would circle, hey, we better look at them to get ready for the playoffs. You're going to get to look at them, all right,
yes.
in district play.
We've played Sinton many times in the playoffs before, West Oso also. Having West Oso in our district, they were kind of a norm. They were always pretty close to us, and we've played them for a couple of years now. But I've never seen Rockport Fulton play. I was talking to Coach Cantu from Raymondville, and he says they're basically a nasty slot team, hustle to the line. So we've been playing Navarro the last couple of years in the second round of the playoffs. So hopefully those games have prepared us for a Rockport team.
Well, you knew pretty much going in it was not going to be a 4-team district. So did you already start crystal balling and making some initial calls to say, hey, what if we might be able to get you in?
No. So what we had was we were preparing our schedule for 6 non-district games. So I had already had 6 non-district games set. So I was gonna be happy if there was 5. I was gonna be set already, and I had to cancel with some of our guys from here. So I had to cancel with Hidalgo, La Feria, and Gruya, who are teams that I've been playing for years and years.
Those are some rivalry games when you look at it. I mean, you still have PI, but the Hidalgo game was a big matchup.
Yes, and I've enjoyed playing. I just got La Feria back on our schedule the last 2 years, and very exciting games. So I was looking forward to playing them some more, but it's not going to work out.
First time on a season, you do not have to prepare for a Monty Stumball.
You know what? I didn't think about that. Yeah, my 14 years here in Rio Hondo, I've been playing stump. So, yes, that I didn't even think about that. Yeah, this will be the first year I don't get to play them.
So what does your non-district schedule look like?
So I have week 1, we have Juarez Lincoln. Week 2, I have – who's my week 2, Bretos? Rivera or – oh, yeah, PSJ Memorial. And then I've got Brownsville Rivera. So I got 3 tough games right off the bat. Juarez Lincoln, we're always 50-50 ball with them. Goes either way with us. I have not played PSJ Memorial before, and I've never played Rivera. So I'm going to go with some big schools. I think there are 2 6As and 1 5A school.
Your Dave Brown connection there, your contact through Raymondville?
Oh, with Raymondville, I'm happy we kept all of these guys, but having to lose some of these games that I've been playing Abel too, also in Gruya since I first started. Me and Abel have been playing a lot of years in together and also in a non-district game. So
Progresso was a team that was the expectation. They dropped out. They went down to 3A.
Yes. We knew that was going to happen. We thought Rockport Fulton had dropped down, but evidently when they readjusted the numbers, UIL again, they fell underneath the mark again. So Rockport Fulton stayed in D2.
Right, because, y'all were in that 4 team, and I remember when we spoke, we were hoping for maybe to get it at least a 6 team.
Yes.
And so as far as the travel goes, I know that's always an issue with coaches, and how difficult is it mapping the traveling?
Not bad. We've been playing. I've played Sinton on district, and I've played them in the playoffs many times. So not a bad deal. Getting put in that district. We've been in that district before where we're traveling. Luckily, it's only football, so they'll come one time and we'll go one time and see what UIL does the next time around. But this will be our toughest. This will be the toughest district we've had by far.
Last question, Coach. Of the realignment, what stood out to you the most, whether it's your district or 36A, 20?
I haven't looked at everybody's districts. We've just been worrying about ours and trying to pick up some scrimmage games and, really just trying to get ours done. So I'm hoping to get one of those schools. Who are we trying to get on our first scrimmage? That was McAllen. Okay, yeah, so we're not even sure. We're trying to knock those out. I know I have Lyford week 2, trying to find a first scrimmage.
Let me throw in one last question. Normally, a coach gets ready to prepare their team as they head into this spring and into the summer by saying, we know what teams made the playoffs last year, and